Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Loki Season 2, Episode 5, Science Fiction. In this episode, Loki traverses dying timelines in an attempt to find his friends, but reality is not what it seems. This episode stars Tom Hiddleston as Loki. We also have Sofia DiMartino as Sylvie, Owen Wilson as Mobius, Eugene Cordero as Casey, Ki Hugh Kwan as Obi, and Wumni Musaku as Hunter B-15. So the first part of this video will be non-spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode, you can stick around. Will be plenty of warning before we get into a spoiler discussion. Or if you're watching this on the release night, you'll only get the spoiler-free version of the video. Uh, so let's get into it. After the events of the last episode, my goodness, this one just hit it out of the park. It definitely had a lot to live up to as far as continuing a very strong story. And I think it did it. I think this episode was shorter than the rest. It was around 40 minutes, but I was fully engaged in what was happening for the full duration of the episode, which in nowadays, like even being distracted by your phone, like the only thing I was doing was actually taking notes for the episode and the review. So I really, really enjoyed this one. I still think the last episode may be my favorite so far this season, but this one was really good. Just really strong performances overall. I think this show specifically, is very lucky to have such an amazing cast, because everyone is just delivering, firing on all cylinders in their performances. Whether it's somebody that needs to be charming and folksy like Owen Wilson, or Sylvie's character that brings a little bit more gravitas to to the performances. Of course, Ki Hugh Kwan just brings like some optimism and like just whimsy. Like it's a really well-rounded cast, and of course, Tom Hiddleston. Like he's so flexible when it comes to all these performances. He definitely is somebody that I could see could keep carrying a show for multiple seasons. He's just such an amazing performer. He has a really He's very charismatic, of course, but he also has a very likable quality to him, which makes me want to root for the character. Even though, like going back, Loki has changed so much, but this specific version of Loki, like Tom Hiddleston, has really made it his own, which is really cool. I still think Hunter B-15 and Casey are some of the more underserved characters, but they still get some stuff to do. They're still on the periphery, so we definitely haven't forgotten about them. Another thing that I really noticed in this episode, just some great camera work. There's some really interesting shots, some really cool camera movements as they try to capture all this stuff. We travel throughout, as I mentioned in the synopsis, many timelines. So it's really fun to see other places, as well as we try to, as Loki's on his mission. So yeah, I really appreciated that as well. Just some really cool camera work, very interesting visuals. Like this was a feast for the eyes for sure. I think in the past episodes, I've talked about how much I love the set of the TVA because it feels like a real set, feels like everything's very lived in and real. Well, in this one, we get a lot of not only some real sets that we get to experience, but also just visually, this is probably one of the more CGI heavy episodes. But it's all very well done, right? These the people that are working behind these artists behind the CGI effects, they are amazing, and that's why we need to make sure that the CGI and the FX people, like, they get treated properly in the industry, because they bring some really stunning visuals to the front. So yeah, I quite enjoy this episode. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the finale. I think emotionally, this one carried a lot for that, and it's just really setting all the stakes for the next episode. So I'm very excited for that one. So